Saturday and happy day 12 of Vlogmas. We're halfway through Vlogmas. Isn't that amazing? This month is going really quickly. Anyway, I have been sitting here this morning. I crocheted more hexies. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with these hexies. Here, I'll show you the inside. This is the bag I'm keeping them in. I don't know if you can really see, but I got 5 out of this mini, which is interesting because this is the color that I accidentally did 2 stripes on my socks. So, and I used a little bit of it for one of the little tiny things that I was knitting for Emma's Advent thing. So I was kind of surprised I was still able to get 5 hexies out of it. There was one that I did that I used for, I think, for the little mittens. Anyway, I probably put pictures in, but I opened my mini today. Isn't it pretty? The colorway was Monet, and I can totally see that in those colors. And then today's fiber is one of the speckled, so I will spin it. I'm not sure if I'm up to date in my pictures of my spinning, but I will try to make sure I put pictures in or show you what I've gotten done. I did yesterday's. Here, I'll take you over and show you. I may have taken a picture, but I don't know if I'll remember to put it in, but there's what we have so far. So this light magenta was yesterday, and then this was the day before, speckled. So anyway, I'm gonna get myself some more coffee, and then I'm going to sit here and knit and spin and watch some Vlogmas videos before I get busy with my day. It's going to be a dye heavy day today. I have a few more colorways to finish up for Wednesday's shop update. Wow, this lighting is really not very nice right here. There. Okay, I'm gonna go. Talk to you later. I've added my stripe to my socks today. I really love this color. It's so hard to show you just the most recent stripe because it's only 5 rounds, so it's kind of small and wants to curl up. But there it is. I wanted to show you what I'm doing as far as the ends, because that's one of the things about stripy, like scrappy socks, you get a lot of ends to weave in. I do knit my ends in as I go, which means when I add the new color, I take both the tail from the old color and the tail from the new color, and I just overlap it over the working yarn with each stitch, and I alternate overlapping the yarn, over the working yarn, and then the next stitch I'll go under, and I just go back and forth. And so in that, I do that for about 8 stitches or so, and that does help secure it. But what I was noticing is it was resulting in a tiny little gap from the old yarn, and while I was able to mitigate that for the most part, when I would get to the second round of the new color, just by pulling that gap a little tighter, I have decided I'm going back and I am going to secure that old tail. Like, I just pull it a little bit. You can see it just snugged it up a wee tiny bit, and then I am weaving it in with a needle just a little bit more to help secure it. I don't mind weaving in ends. I don't have a problem with that. I actually find it kind of meditative to do, so that doesn't bother me to do that. But I just feel a little bit more confident in those staying. And really, once I wear the socks enough, those ends are going to kind of mesh together really well. I've never had a pair of scrappy socks unravel on me in any way, but this is actually the first pair I've done where I've done this knitting in of the ends as I go. So I just want to take extra care to make sure they're not going to go into place. And done. So my ends are taken care of for another stripe. And just to clarify, I only do the weaving in with the needle on the old color. I don't do the tails from both colors since they're overlapped together inside. When I weave into that overlap section, which is what I'm weaving into, it's also catching the new tail and helping to secure that. I hope that makes sense. But that's what I'm doing. So, and here's, I don't think I pointed it out yet. I mean, I've told you about it, but here's the stripe that I accidentally did twice. So that was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, day 7 accidentally got put in before day 8, 9, 10. But in the ball, day 10 had so much of this fuchsia, bright pinky purple. And I mean, it had a lot of dark in it too, but like I just grabbed it, I wasn't paying attention, obviously. So anyway, whatever. I've got 2 of those stripes. And in the end, it really won't matter because nobody's going to see it. And I'm probably going to be the only person who realizes that it's there. Except all of you guys. Now you know, but you aren't going to be seeing my socks most likely while I'm wearing them. Look at her. You would think she was the sweetest, most innocent little thing ever. Oh. This is just her recharge period. This is how we do pandemic haircuts. How's it feel, honey?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Best haircut I've had
Since the last time I cut your hair in the
March.
driveway? That's not true. I've cut your hair 2 other times.
Yeah, you have. You have.
Okay, there it is.
You do a good job.
I'm so warm. I just came up from dyeing. I got my dyeing done for the day, so I feel good about that. I'm coming upstairs to make lunch. Where's the doggy? There she is. Gotta come upstairs this way since little Miss Muffin doesn't do steps. Anyway, I know it's supposed to rain later this afternoon, but it's looking very, very gloomy already. And I was actually hoping that I would have an opportunity before the rain to come out here and put our Christmas our Christmas lights outside, because that's the only decorating that I haven't gotten to do yet. And last year I put them right here in this little patch of bushes, but right now that patch of bushes obviously is very weighed down with what lingering snow there is. So I think I'm gonna run them over here instead to these bushes. So there's this whole little patch of, I don't even know if you can see what I'm pointing at. I can't see what I'm pointing at. There. These. I might try putting them here. The silly thing about this is we have a gate at the driveway. Nobody drives down our driveway except us. And Bill could care less if there's lights out. I know Emma would enjoy them. I enjoy seeing them. In fact, I really enjoyed just having them on, in the evenings last year, because you could look out these windows in the front and see them. And I just thought they were cheery. Plus my mom and her husband were here last year, so they got to see them. So I don't know. I feel like, okay, it's the 12th of December. We are halfway to Christmas now. Is it worth putting the outside Christmas lights up? Or is it just kind of silly? I mean, it wouldn't take me long because, honestly, I just kind of put them up really willy-nilly. I don't do a fastidious job. But I just don't know if it's silly to do it now, this close to Christmas. Granted, they'll be left up for a while. We're supposed to get snow again this week a little bit. I don't know how much. But I'm afraid that if I don't do it today, I'm going to lose my opportunity. We'll see. And it's starting to rain now. It's sprinkling. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to make lunch because I am hungry. I never actually ate breakfast. I had cookies. This is the hazard of me making cookies, is I just eat them for breakfast and throughout the day and don't eat real food, which isn't good. Got a little buddy here. He flew into the kitchen window, presumably when he was going at the bird feeders. Unfortunately, we do get birds that do that, and usually they just bounce and fly off, but he didn't. He's got a little bit of blood coming out of his beak, but he's at least upright. When he first hit, he was not, and I went out and scooped him up because it's kind of raining. And he wanted to hang on to my finger, but I thought perhaps a stick would be better, so we're out here on the front porch, and it's still raining, and I'm not exactly sure what to do with him because I don't want him getting loose in the house, but I don't want to leave him out here unattended either because cats, and that will not help his situation at all. And Bill is just coming back from a test run on his motorcycle that he is working on, if you hear that in the background. So anyway, I'm not sure what to do with this little guy. I don't want him to get loose in the house, that's for sure. Maybe Bill has some ideas, but for right now, he's hanging out here in this box on this stick that I put in there for him. It's always something up here in the mountains. Isn't it, little guy? You okay? You gonna be all right? You're still breathing. That's a good sign. And blinking. Kind of worried about the mouth bleeding though. That does not seem good. But at least he doesn't seem to have a broken neck. Sometimes that's what happens. They hit and they die immediately because they break their necks, and that's not good either. Good morning. Happy Vlogmas Day 13. It's Sunday. I'm sitting here, I'm working on a hexie. This is one of my past days from my minis. Look at all these hexies. I am so enjoying making these. I did all of these like yesterday afternoon and evening. I just can't stop. In case I didn't put text in underneath yesterday's video, the bird was fine. He sat in the box for probably a couple of hours, and I had taken little dishes of water and birdseed out for him and put them in there. I'm not sure if he ever ate any of those or drank any of the water, but at one point I went out to check on him and he was still sitting on the perch that I had put in the box, and I just said to him, "Hey buddy, how you doing?" And he looked at me and he went, and he flew away. So it was almost like he's like, "Hey, thanks." And he flew off. So that made me feel good. I don't have an excellent track record of nursing wildlife back to health like that. Sometimes it ends badly, but I think usually in those cases they weren't really in great shape to begin with. So, but you do what you can up here in the mountain house because sometimes little critters get hurt. Sometimes it's because of cats. This one was not because of a cat, thankfully. So, what else is going on? I did open my minis today, and I didn't record it. I'm sorry. I'm a bad vlogmaser. But here's my yarn for today. Isn't this beautiful? My gosh. And that color is very accurate. This is from, and this is another dyer that I don't know, I don't recognize. This is Fuzz Family for Creo. I've never heard of that. Have you guys? I don't know if it's really focusing or not, but I've never heard of them. So that was interesting. They are hand dyed with love in Chicago. And this is the Bleeding Heart colorway. So I can't wait to add that. This color has shown up in my minis quite a bit. This bright pink. That's fun. Matter of fact, it's in the one that I'm working on now. This is the first one that I did out of that. Okay, and then the fiber, which is fiber I dyed, is this really bright blue, which I love this color. This is, ooh, it's doing weird things to the light. This was one of my favorite colors that I developed for the countdown sets this year. All of the colors that I did in the mini sets this year, they alternate like you've been seeing. There's, you know, a semi-tonal and then there's a speckle every other day. The semitonals, which might be a word I made up. I'm not sure if that's actually a thing, but it is for me. They aren't just semi-solids like of my regular color lineup. They're all custom blended colors for those days, so there's multiple blues that went into this to make it up, and I just love how it turned out. So those will be my minis that I'm going to work on as soon as I finish my current hexie. I've got to finish this one.
I know you can't really see it right now because it's daytime, but I did put the lights up. The snow melted enough and I could do that. And I did have enough that I did this little crazy string right here. Anyway, it's silly because honestly, we are the only ones who will see this. But it makes me happy. Although I have to tell you, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, as I was putting this stuff up, I was feeling really sad, and I don't know why. I think part of it has to do with it was like making me remember how I used to decorate back at my other house when my kids were still there, and like different memories. You know, like emotions are so weird, and like memories are attached to such odd things sometimes. So I don't know. Way to bring the Vlogmas down, Lisa. But, you know, right now this is making me happy. It's just my little crazy little lights on my crazy little bushes here in the front of the house with my crazy little baubles hanging off of them. It makes me happy, and that's all that matters, right? I need to get some things out of the attic and put some things away in the attic, so I thought I'd take you along because this will be super exciting. If by exciting you mean mortifying at how much junk there is up there, but I'm going to let you see it. I have to start at this closet door. I wish this took us to Narnia, but it really doesn't. Just, it's access to our attic, which is less of an actual attic and more of a, I don't know, I guess it's an attic. Okay, see, I'm gonna like die up here on these steps in socks. Am I making you seasick yet? That is an antler off of some large animal that my husband's had for a really long time. I don't know where he got it or how. And yeah, I don't know. It's just been here forever. And there's a duck decoy. Oh, look, here, you can see our house from this angle. This is actually kind of a cool view. And there's Winnie. There's the beam. Okay. I already tossed some stuff up here that I need to store. It's boxes for Christmas stuff. So here's our little itty bitty door. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, light switch. Ta-da! Oh my god. Okay, so what you have to understand here. Hang on. Oh. Okay. If you could see the gyrations I go through getting up into here and then not clonking my head on that, it's amazing. Okay, so I'm standing up right now, and this is like where my head would be. That's how tiny the door is. Okay, I'll get that stuff in a minute. Anyway, when I moved up here, like, I had to put a ton of my stuff up here. So most of what you see over here is a lot of my stuff from my house. Look, there's the things that I made for our wedding. Not those. Those are sleeping bags. And those are our camping pads, and more of them. Actually, we use these more than those because these are thicker. Anyway, and then there's like our luggage, and there's random motorcycle parts stored up here, like windshields and things. There's our little nursery aquarium. And then there's a whole bunch of our Christmas stuff, you know, boxes and everything. And wrapping stuff. And then there's probably things up here that my husband doesn't even realize he owns because they've been here for so long. Anyway, and then there's like the insulation, because this isn't really like an attic that you could ever make into a room, really. I mean, I guess you could if you put a floor down, but there's only plywood in this front part, and the rest of it's just, you know, the top part of the house, the crawl space, the insulation. I'm sure many of you have crawl spaces and attics like this. I mean, they're not uncommon. You just access them in various and sundry ways. Okay, so anyway, I'm on a mission because Emma has decided she wants her Christmas stocking. I have not gotten the kids' Christmas stockings out in many years because they're adults and don't live at home. And I know that's not a good reason to not put the Christmas stocking out, but seriously, like, I had no reason to because they weren't usually here at Christmas. Except Christopher, and he didn't care about his stocking. So, anyway, okay, I gotta move things, and I'm hoping that this is the bin that holds the Christmas stockings, because I don't want to have to go another level down. Yes! There they are. Okay, I think the polar bear was Emma's. And I think the Santa is Christopher's, and then what's this one? The snowman must have been Zach's. Except now I'm afraid that if I don't take the right one down, I'm going to have to come back up here and do this again. So maybe I should just take all three of them. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure I just need to take these two. I'm pretty sure that the snowman was my oldest son's, and he's definitely not here to care about it. So, and those are just leftover decorations that I don't really use up here. Okay, cool. That was so easy.